Hello there, this is Patricia from Pinky's World. This week I'm concentrating on birthdays as April is a busy month in our household. So I'm making a few wee gift packages to pop money or treats or whatever. And I want some really quick because I have about 7 boys and 1 girl's birthday this month. So quite a bit on. So anyway, this one is just so cute, so quick and so easy. All you're going to need is your scallop tag topper punch, your ice cream cone builder punch. I'm also using the lovely ice cream cone corner series designer papers. You can see I've had fun with it, but it is beautiful papers. You're going to love it. Check it all out. I'm using this one, this lovely cone bottom for the base of the box. I'm stamping out everything else and a wee ribbon and some fluffy tissue paper. Very quick, very easy, and anybody can make it. If I can make it, anybody can. And of course you need the lovely sweet ice cream stamp set. I bought this all as a sweet to get the wee shakers, which I've yet to use. So that is my next project. That will definitely be on a few of the birthday cards. So I'm using the cone, this one and this one. And you can add this if you want instead, but I tried it out in different ways and different bits of paper, and this is the one I preferred. And I'm going with the lovely cinnamon cider because it matches perfectly all the papers. I'm going with Coastal Cabana for the ice cream. As I say, it's boys. I happen to have a wee bit of tissue that matches perfectly and show you how I made this end of it. And I broke the You're So Cool sentiment up and added a wee bit of ribbon. Now, the ribbon is Pool Party, but it's the closest I have with a sparkle in it, so that's why I used it. I want a wee bit of sparkle as it's their birthday. So this is what you need to do. Start off with, where did I put it? A piece of white or whatever. You can use any kind of backing coloured card that you want, but it needs to measure 8.5 by 4 inches. Very simple. You get your punch then, your scallop tag punch, and you feed that paper in. Even though it is too wide, you want to balance it that you've got the same gap as much as possible at either side. Make sure it's butted right up, and oh, see that? Don't do that. Make sure it's balanced at both sides. I actually seen another demonstrator do this a good few years back, and I've been meaning to have a go at it, so it worked out perfect for me today. Connie, oh, can't remember her second name. Connie, it'll come to me. So do that at one side, turn it around and do it at the other side. Just make sure it's fed in as balanced as you can possibly do to the eye, unless you want to really be precise and measure out exactly, which I'm not going to do. So I think that's up far enough. It's all butted up. Pretty close to being balanced, so punch it out and you're left with that particular shape. It's at this stage you want to go in now with your score tool, and we're going to score from one point to the other. So you need to line it up where that point will hit that wee groove down to this wee groove. So just make sure again it's butted right up, but make sure that you're happy with where it is. It doesn't need to be at the edge. If that suits you better, do that. I'm all covered in brown ink. Score down. If it's fitting into those grooves, then you should be fine. Same with this side. Make sure it lines up with one of the spaces, butt it right up, and just score right down. And that scores you to the 2 points. Now you need to line it up, and you want to score it at 3 3/4 and 4 3/4, and that gives you your wee inch bottom. And that's all the scoring you need to do at the minute. So we need to take these wee tips off. We don't actually need them now. You can put it into your cutter, line it up and do it. I'm going to be a mad woman and just cut it. Same here. Just cut it across. It's not going to annoy me if it's not fully shaped. I can't be farting about lining it up in the cutter, so I'm just eyeballing it. And there you have your doodah ready. So now you want to cut in here, and there, and there. Just so you can form the wee box shape. Very easy, isn't it? I mean, it's practically made itself. So now you want to do your scores. Where are you? Get your bone folder just and give it a nice wee score. And you can see it just taking shape already. And now we'll want to add our nice designer paper. These blocks just fit in. You're only going to need 2 of the sides decorated as the other is disappearing inside, so you don't need to worry about that. So I'm just going to glue them on with my usual glue, and you can see the other side of that paper is beautiful cones, which if you haven't got the stamp set but do have the paper, you can actually cut those out and use those to decorate, which saves you the stamping, but I enjoy the stamping much more than cutting out. Oh, come on, glue, come on. So just pop that on, decide which one's going to be your front, and pop it on inside. And if you're using the white like me, it's sometimes good to fold those back so that you can get the proper grid on each side, or proper distance is what I mean. You don't want it looking crooked. That's it. I'm just going to add the side ones. Oh my goodness, isn't that glue mustard? And there's still a right wee bit in there, it shouldn't be doing that. I'm just going to set them all out when the glue's down that way and go for it and hope I do it quick enough. On the wee front piece, or back piece, sorry. So they all measure the same. The larger pieces, these ones are 2 3/4 by 2 inches, which fits, whoops, in perfectly. Lucky that had glue on it, or it would have been on the floor. These fit perfectly on the sides, so pop them in where you're happy. Oh, sticky Mickey. Just make sure they're all lined up nicely at the top. And that is basically your box formed, so we can actually put it together. So we need glue on those 2 wee bits there. I'm using the what do you call it, tomboy glue, just to hold it good and proper. So I know this one's going to be my front, so you want to make the back end first. Just push them so they're straight down and push that straight in. And then we're just going to pop these over the top, and then you have your lovely wee box. I really would have needed to trim off a wee bit of that. So I'm opening very bold, shouldn't have done that, but it would only annoy me if I didn't. So pop that back up. If it needs more glue, give it some. But remember, it's on the inside, so it's not going to. That one has moved on the 2. Sorry, I'm probably out of picture, but I want to get this lined up. So you can see, trim off your insides. I totally forgot to do that, and I'm always doing it. So I don't know why I didn't this time. Just cut those in before you do your sticking, obviously. So I'm going to put glue on this one. Make sure you get it in the parts that really needs to be stuck. Glue on this one. Pop them over and close them up. And you can see it just makes the cutest wee box. So simple, so effective, and now you just want to decorate it. So you need a wee bit of stamping. We need our ice cream, your wording, your wee sprinkles for the top of your ice cream. I just went with the same colour, the cinnamon, just to tie in with a chocolatey feel. And you'll need your cone builder punch. So I'm going to start by stamping the cone with my ink. What did I do with it? Here we go. So we're using cinnamon cider. It's one of the in colours, which is still stiff as a board because I haven't used it enough. And at this stage, if you think your ink is going to be really dark, get yourself a piece of paper, gently stamp off. Don't take too much of it off because you want to be able to see it. And then just pop it in there. I think this way works best for that punch. And give it a good press because you've taken some ink off, and you get a nicer, lighter shade than the actual darker shade. I think it's too dark for chocolate. My punch just hasn't been used enough. I didn't do that right at all. Twit-two. I'm going to stamp it again, only upside down this time. Stamp off a wee bit and then push that up that way. Which should fit. Oh my god, have I done it again? I have, haven't I? Seriously, Patricia, like, come on. I'm going to stamp it, cut myself off a whack garden and thread through. I can make something easy look so hard. So now we should be able to slide that in. Line it up so you're getting a nice wee white edge. That really was difficult, wasn't it? And that's your cone. We just need to do the same with our wee stamp and take that off. Take this one, and I'm going to use the nice Coastal Cabana. I did try the Pool Party, but I thought it was just too pale. It wasn't ice creamy enough, if you know what I mean. Now where's that punch? I'm doing the full ink on this one. So I'm going to ink up the sprinkles now in the cinnamon cider, but I'm taking off a wee bit. Don't want them too dark. I'm just going to put them like so. And that just gives it a nice wee sprinkly ice creamy feel. So the only other thing we have to stamp would be the wording. So we'll just put it on here. I'm doing it in the blue. And put it on this one, and I'm just going to cut these out as you've seen. So we'll leave that to one side. Close all these up. I think Coastal Cabana has been my most favourite colour out of all the colours that I've had for ages. It is the one that's used the most. Such a lovely blue. So what are we doing? Punching this out. Thread that in, and it lines up nicely as well as the other one, which gives you a nice wee white border, which stands out nicely against the brown. So this we're going to stick on here, sort of slanted just, but I'm putting the tiniest wee bits of dimensionals. These are only thin 1 millimeter or something. They're very, very tiny. I just want it raised up ever so slightly. Don't want it too bulky because I'm bulking out the one above it. So just set it, get off me, set it to one side so that you've room for, you know, putting your wording down. This wee one we'll want to add a bigger dimensional to it. It goes this way. It's the one I use for the wee teddy bear, which is cute that way, but it actually sits this way. So bear that in mind. You want to put the dimensional towards the top so that you're not making it double up on that because you'll see it. So I'm just cutting myself a bit of this. If you had your dimensionals, they will do perfectly. I just came up with reaching for mine. So pop that there. You can see it all taking shape. This we're just going to cut out. Simple. Just cut it close to the line. And then cut right up in between those two. We're cutting off the... So, my scissors are sticky. I need to give them a good clean. Cut off the cool. If you make a mistake when you're cutting them, just stamp it again and cut the one you need out. And for these, I used, again, the wee half measure. I split these ones in half, very thin, but work perfectly for wording, skinny wording. I'm sure you could use bits of your dimensionals as well. The lovely wee end pieces going around the bottom. Depends on how far you want them to stick out. Just split them and add them. I'm sure some of you have these. I've had these for absolute years. And they are great. So, you want to start with here at the top. Oh my goodness, I am covered in glue as usual. So I want the ear up here. Sort of put it at a jaunty angle to fill that wee gap better for you. You're so go that the opposite jaunty angle. And then cool. Now you could add your wink of Stella, add lots of sparkle, diamond glaze, whatever you have to sparkle it up a wee bit. You're so cool. And then the ribbon. What did I do with the ribbon? I think this is still available. I'm honestly not sure. It's a Pool Party sheer ribbon. If it's not available, you might be lucky enough to get it in the sale part. Check it out. So what you do is thread it through the front. Loop it like you would if you were making an actual tag. Pull it through, but when you're pulling it, pull it down. Don't pull it up to the top. Keep it down this way, and that gives you the space to actually make a wee bow. Come on. Awkward Annie here. You can always do this off camera, but never on it. Oops. And sticky fingers don't help. So fart about with that till you get it nice and sized well, or whatever. Now for that wee bushly inside, I said I would show you that. I have stacks of this. I'm sure people do have tissue paper in the house. Pull yourself off a square. What is that about? That one's about 9.5 inches square. And you just want to fold it up in half. Choose a nice half. Maybe that's not as nice as I'd like it to be. And then you're just going to cut down. Where is it? I have these scissors, but if you haven't got those scissors, these scissors cut out 1, 2, 3, 4 sections at a time, and I would just go down like so. Just cut right along each time. If you haven't got them, just use your ordinary scissors. Just take a wee bit more time, that's all. And then you just sort of roll it up. and make it fit like so, and it'll just slip into your box. This is good if you're going to be selling your boxes. You want a nice display, make them really presentable. So it makes it a wee bit more nice to look at. So that's it. That's my little treat boxes sorted. There's two down. I'm going to make a few in lots of different colours because there's gorgeous papers in that particular set which I will use, and there's wee leftover bits which I'm going to make their wee birthday cards with too. So I'll catch us all again hopefully next week, and hopefully have another idea for you. So catch us all later. Remember, everything that you need, everything that I used will be linked down below, and the link brings you to my blog if you want to check out. I have other things that I make. I make things 5 days a week, so there's lots of variety and lots of ideas for you if you fancy dropping over. Catch us all later. Bye.